Wired NextFest is the signature event of Wired Magazine, which is a magazine that covers transformation in commerce, culture, art, design, science, the people, companies that are transforming the world. NextFest was to bring the magazine to life, to provide a venue where people could come in, see the things that are transforming the world, be able to touch it, see it, feel it, and meet the people who are doing it.
How many exhibits do you have here?
This year we have 50 exhibits from around the world representing about 12 different countries. It's from artists, designers, scientists, inventors globally. They're passion projects.
And why did you choose Chicago for the NextFest?
One, we love Chicago. Secondly, we had done this in 2005. Originally, we were just going to go back and forth between San Francisco and New York, which are our two sort of main headquarters for Wired. Mayor Daley actually had heard about NextFest in our first San Francisco show in 2004, and thought this might be something great for Chicago. So we actually got invited to come to Chicago to set up in 2005, and it was such a fabulous success that we wanted to come back. Everything here is actually for people of all ages. It's the things that we've curated that we think most people will see as impacting their life in the future. So whether it's a hovering lounge chair or personal mobility vehicles or human robots, they're the kind of things that you see at a World's Fair that inspire you and say, hey, I'm looking forward to what's next.
And is the event free?
The event is free. It runs from September 27th to October 12th. We're closed on Mondays and then open 11 to 7 every day. And come on down. I think Chicago's going to be a great place for the Olympics. Everything here is set up for embracing the new. It's a global mecca of an innovation city here, and I think it'll be fabulous. What we've found in looking globally that the United States, whether it's the university systems or corporate R&D, there's a lot of innovation going on there that people just don't see. And part of our mission is to show people here in the U.S. all of the things that are going to inspire them about what's coming next.
And since you've come to Chicago 05 and now 08, and now that you've set up shop in Sea Millennium Park, has anything surprised you about Chicago in terms of either startups coming out of Chicago or the technology that you may not have known before coming here for the NextFest?
I think what we've found is that there's a great deal of collaboration and communication between all facets of innovative people here, whether it's the government, the university system, capital markets, investments. People seem to know and want to work with each other to get things done here. People love robots. We have 4 or 5 robots here, transformer robots, human robots, snake robots. There'll be real jaw droppers. And then for people who are interested in environment, there are a lot of things to see here, whether it's biodegradable plastic or biodiesel fuel from algae. I mean, things that are really going to be where we're going next.
What is this invention you have here?
It's called the Immersidome.
What does the Immersidome do?
The Immersidome is a multi-sensory system. It has a hemispherical display to give you a sense of immersion, of being in the experience instead of just watching it like a traditional flat screen. It also features time-triggered sense of smells, wind simulation, vibration, stereo sound.
So would this take the place of watching something on television or seeing a movie?
Yes, it could, and it'll give you a sense of actually being in the experience instead of just watching it, so it affects all of one's senses.
And where are you headquartered?
Dallas.
And when did this idea come to be?
This actually was invented by a gentleman who invented it for NASA for space simulation. And our company bought the exclusive patented rights to the technology, and we pushed it further with more sensations, and we can do, in fact, a lot more than even what we're doing.
And what brings you here?
Well, of course, what brings me here is the NextFest, and I'm with Autobach, the company that manufactures the prosthetic legs that I use every day for mobility and for me to get everywhere that I go. Technology and the prosthetics these days is what makes it possible for me to be independent.
Now, what exactly is World Business Chicago?
We're a partnership between the city and Chicago's business community, and our job is to bring in and attract business to Chicago. So we do the Chicago marketing, we do research, and we tell the world what a great place this is to come and do business.
I'm sure your office is pretty busy these days.
It's been very busy. We've been really, really fortunate that Chicago is seen as it should be as a great place to locate. And so just recently we've had some really nice big wins, such as Miller Coors and the expansion of Temple Steel, and a number of international companies who are locating their North American headquarters here.
And you're pretty new. When did you start?
I started about 9 months ago. Wow.
And where were you before this position?
I was the mayor's deputy chief of staff for 10 years before that. Actually doing the interviews for my new job for him. And after I brought him about 4 different people, he said, you should do that job. And so that's how I'm here and just loving it.
You having a good time?
Very good time. It's great. He gave me the best product in the world to market, the city of Chicago.
So Dan, how long have you been with World Business Chicago?
I've been in Chicago for about 8 years now.
And what is your prime role as Director of Technology?
Well, I manage and handle all the projects, the business development projects with relation to the sort of broad swath of technology. So telecommunications, wireless, infrastructure, technology, and life sciences.
And how did this NextFest come to be in terms of your involvement with Wired NextFest?
Well, years ago, Wired was, years ago, I mean sort of around 2003, Wired was pitching and looking for the cities that they were going to rotate this around the United States. And so they came to us and we pitched them on. Chicago was a great home for that. They thought it was a good idea. It's a really good product, as Rita was saying before. And they brought it here in 2005. It originally was at Navy Pier. Then it rotated back to New York and then San Francisco. And then, fortunately enough, it came back again this year.
So to folks that live in Chicago, what would you tell them about World Business Chicago in terms of what it means to them, to a regular Chicagoan? Why should they care about World Business Chicago?
They should care about us because in bringing companies, we bring jobs. And of course, jobs is what helps everybody have the quality of life that they want to have and sustain in this great city. So that's one of the main reasons. Plus, we're so fortunate here that our corporate community is so engaged in the day-to-day lives of our citizens. So the more corporations, the more companies we bring here, the more they also engage and become part of our community.
And what do you both think about the potential of Chicago hosting the 2016 Olympic and Paralympic Games?
First of all, I can't imagine that we won't win, being the city that we are, but from a business standpoint, the opportunities that will bring to us, the increased visibility for the city of Chicago all over the world, where we can show our assets, the lakefront, the location, our workforce. You couldn't pay for the marketing that 2016 will bring to the city of Chicago.
Understand?
And being involved with the process, it's really clear that there are a tremendous amount of great minds working on this. I think a lot of people, aside from the fact that we have a great city that we're showcasing, forget the complexity of the bid process, and the minds and the individuals that are handling both the bid book and showcasing Chicago are incredible. So not only do we have a great asset of the city, but we've got the best minds and the greatest people working on the process as well.
You can see we're pretty enthused.
Yeah.
So let me get this straight. We have an organization to help businesses come to Chicago, working around the clock to make sure we have businesses and companies and positions in Chicago, and we have a stellar lineup of people working on the bid book. I see absolutely no reason why we shouldn't get the 2016 Olympics.
We don't either.
And you had it there, folks.